I wanted to talk about the Java streams, and we'll get started with the reduce operations. Reduce operations in streams are used for mathematical computations, mostly sum, product, max, string. And you also use it for string manipulations and to arrive at complex solutions. It reduces your coding effort. So let's do first 8, and then we'll go down to 9, 10, 11, 12 because they are a little more complex. So coming to sum, what do you do in sum? First you take your arrays, your array as list, right? First you need to convert all of them into list because list.streams is what returns you the string. And you create a numbers, words, and doubles. And then you come into numbers.stream. What are you doing? First thing you want to do is sum. How do you add all your numbers? A plus B. So A comma B is A plus B, and then identity is your default value. So reduce the first parameter. It takes an identity. This one is your default. Think of it as a default value, like 0. It has its uses, but for now, think of it as a default value, 0.0. Accumulator is like A plus B, the number of elements in your list. You keep whatever function you want to add to it, A plus B, A comma B, A delimiter B, or A divided by B. It's whatever you want to do. That's your accumulator. So in this case, you want to do A comma B is A plus B. And that's one way you can get the sum. Or you can do integer colon sum. And if your product, you're doing multiplying numbers. So 2 comma 3 is what you want to do, right? So A comma B is A multiplied by B. It's here. And then you want to find the max value. The max value means what? You have to have, it becomes, when you do integers like finding min and finding max, you have edge cases. Your minimum value is what? Your minimum value is minus 214,748, 648. That is minus 2 to the power of 31. So that becomes your minimum default value. Your max cannot be lesser than that. So you have an edge case here. But it's a garbage value. Hopefully your list has numbers and you're going to get something conclusive. A comma B, A greater than B, A colon B. So that's your max reduce, integer colon max. And then otherwise, another way to eliminate this edge case is you can use an optional. If you use an optional, then you can say, okay, max optional or else 0 or else throw an exception. Or if you get an optional, you can do if present, is present. So you have those options when you use streams, when you use optionals. In this case, you don't have an identity, so you don't have a default value. So you are just doing reduce integer max. So then you want to specify a default value. Say, my list doesn't have anything, then I want to return a 0. Now, finding minimum value, what the max is going to be, or you don't know, minimum value cannot be greater than integer.max. That's just an edge case. Hopefully, your list has numbers again. In this case, what you're going to do, A less than B. If A less than B, then A and then B. And then you can do an integer.min and you have integer.max. And to integer colon sum, we did that. We did max. Let's do concatenation. Concatenation is A plus B again, say A comma B, A plus B. Otherwise, you have another function to delimit, if it's A is empty, then go for B, else do A plus this concat with delimiter. You also have something else called as words.stream. Instead of reduce, right, you can use collect. You can use collectors.joining. Delimiter, comma. So that's one way you can do it. Collectors is a lot of functions, as you will see as this session progresses. Now for count. Count, what you can do, you have streams.count. You have stream.count. Or you can convert every element of the array to 1. That's what we do here. Map. And then you get the sum of it, integer.sum of it. Better way to count, you can do count. Average. Average is what do you do? Average, you're going to get all your elements number.stream. And first think when you're looking at the code, before you even check the code, think how you will do it. What are you going to do? Average.stream, and you want to get the average of all the amounts. So what is it going to be? Amounts. So it's going to be double sum. Reduce. So what do you do? Reduce, instead of integer colon sum, you're going to do double colon sum. And for the average, you're going to divide it by prices.size. Otherwise, you can look at a collector like collectors.joining. You have collectors.averaging double value. Prices.stream. And then you take your value and you can, you will get the average for it. Conditional aggregation, you only want to sum even numbers. Even means what? Divided by 2. So n comma n greater than divided by 2 equal to 0. And then you get an integer dot sum. Even sum reduce. So let's look at the output for the first 8. Okay, here we used a stream dot, we used a plus b, remember? A plus b, that was 81. Method ref is integer 4 colon double colon sum. This is a comma b, that is stream reduce. For max, what did we do? We had integer colon max. Oh, this is optional 25. Stream colon reduce is when we gave our integer dot min and then did a greater than b, then a, otherwise b. In case of min, what did we do for stream reduce? A lesser than b, then a, otherwise b, and your edge case was integer dot max, your initial identity. And for optional, we did or else 0. We did an optional in which we did not give the identity. We only gave the accumulator. That is the business. That is the logic of execution. What do you want to do between these? If you have two items, is your operation repetitive? So that you can put in the accumulator. You want to do 5 plus 5 greater than 12, or 5 less than 12, or 5 multiplied by 12, or 5 plus 12, or 5 minus 12. That goes in the accumulator. And it performs the same operation on all the elements in the list on 12, 3. Then a comma b, right? Then it'll do 318. So that's how it works. That's how the accumulator works. String concatenation, this was your word array. And you just did a plus b, you got this. When you did plus open quotes, comma, and close quotes, you got this. And you use collectors dot joining, you got the same thing with your delimiter. Hello world Java streams. Then in case of count, what did you do? You did dot count. And for reduce, what did you do? You converted you used a map to convert 5 to 1. And then every element became 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And then you got the integer colon sum. On reduce, with your identity was 0. Average, using reduce. In case of reduce, what did you do? In case of average, you went and added everything first. And then you divided it, integer colon. You did double 0.0, and then you did double colon double value. Otherwise, you have an API called averaging double. And conditional assertion is when you went and divided by 2, and if it got 0, then you went and did a integer colon sum. So I couldn't remember this one, but this was double colon sum. Okay.